We are excited to start a new feature on the WBNL podcast with interviewing top agents and brokers and team leaders around the country called Ask Five. And you're here today on the inaugural show.
Yeah, we're going to meet Tina King in just a few in the WBNL podcast studio.
This is the Wandering But Not Lost WBNL podcast where real estate and reality meet. And now your hosts, Jan O'Brien and Matt Emerson.
Well, welcome to the WBNL Wandering But Not Lost podcast where real estate and reality meet. This is episode 222.
Good number.
That's a good luck thing, I think. You can find all of our show notes over at WBNLpodcast.com. Jan O'Brien, we've been talking about doing this interview thing for a while, and I'm excited that it's finally here.
Absolutely, and we are going to keep it going with an interview every other week. And we're going to ask 5 specific questions of our guests and hopefully share a lot of great ideas and insights and motivate and inspire you to maybe pick up some new ideas for your business.
That sounds great. So let's go ahead and bring in our first guest, Tina King, who I have known since, I want to say, let's just say 25 years. It might even be more than that. It's kind of scary. I don't know.
Most of her career and yours.
Exactly. So anyway, let's bring her on in and we'll get to know Tina King a little bit of what makes her work and what makes her tick.
Tina. Hey.
There's Tina King.
Hey, guys.
There she is.
Welcome to the podcast.
Tina King is a realtor. She's been just about everything, I think, really. I'm looking forward to hearing more since we've talked last here in Southern California, San Diego specifically, but she's worked a little bit in the OC as well. Tina, why don't you just, you sent us your bio to put, which is going to be in the show notes, by the way. So all of Tina's information, along with her contact information and all that good stuff, is going to be in the show notes over at WBNLpodcast.com. As I was looking through that, it's like, yeah, check. Tina is awesome. She does everything. She's, she's done it all. Escrow, I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more about that. That was one that I did not know about. So why don't you just give us a little bit of an overview of yourself, and then kind of just in a nutshell, what your career has been and what's kind of driven you to do new things over the last so many.
Brought you to where you are today.
Yeah. Okay. So been in for a while. So about 30 years now. Heading into 30 years in May. And like you guys said, I've run the gamut on a lot of different activities in real estate. And what drives me is passion, right? So passion to help others impact their lives through either helping them buy or sell real estate or helping an agent to achieve their goals. So I've got that coachy mechanism inside of me, which, caused me to run into running different brokerages and hiring people and bringing them on, not to serve the purpose of the brokerage, but to help build great people. And then the brokerage was better because of it. So that was kind of always my mantra behind that. And not every brokerage agreed with that, but that's who I am.
That's to their downfall, Tina.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't know if they'll ever get it because and you've been there, Matt, and
absolutely.
Jan.
Jan and I started WBNL coaching mainly because brokerages do not provide training and support for their agents. I mean,
right.
So we all three of us are on the same page when it comes to that.
But I also look back at everywhere I've come, and I'm sure you do too, that everything helped you get to where you are today, which tell us a little bit more about, you've been an agent, you've worked as a team leader, you've been in managing broker kind of scenarios, working for other brokers, which is the part that I was getting sort of tired of myself. But what are you doing now? And I want to know what you're doing now. And I want to know, is this the best part of your career so far? Are you loving what you're doing now? Or let
me take you to 2018 when I decided to get out of the management world and get back into selling. I aligned myself with an agent that I actually coached a little bit when she got into the business in 2005. And she was pretty burnt out and I needed deals. So I said, let me do your open houses. Let me do some of that. And then she just I just think I'm going to get out of real estate. I'm just really fried. She was doing about 60 transactions a year with 5 kids and, basically a TC. And I said, listen, I mean, you have some really great tech systems here that you've put together better than even some of the larger brokerages that I've run. So why not build a team? Right. And I said, I know how to build teams. So, and right now I need to make some cash. So give me all your clients. You go to work on the systems and we'll make this thing happen. Well, fast forward, it's probably topping out at 80 agents right now, a staff of 12 plus a couple.
You went
VAs.
from her and you to 80 agents.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Wow. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks. And so now, I can only do so much for so long, right? I was selling, anywhere between 30 and $40 million in volume myself, along with running the company, giving advice, and not saying that I did it all. Believe me, I'm just saying I'm kind of putting you in my realm of what I was doing. And it got to a place just recently where it was like, hey, we're getting pretty big here. You need to put people in place, which has been done. And I'm kind of stepping out now to regrow and rebirth kind of my own gig. So I'm excited about that. I'm also a co-owner or a founder of an escrow company along with Siri, who is the person I'm speaking of. Okay. And we have a really great escrow officer who wanted to open a practice that we've both known for many years. So she's going to be getting some ownership as well this year. We were profitable in the first year open. We opened February of 2022. So really, guys, listen, I'm going to be 60 in April, and I am on a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to build that little bit of retirement stuff, right?
Heck yeah. Oh. Heck yeah. You're creating your exit strategy. Well done, Tina.
Yeah.
Did that, and now you're doing what you want to do. You're making your decisions for you and what's best for you and your family, and having fun with it. It sounds like.
Yeah, I am having fun. Obviously, I'm in a reinvention moment. It's a little scary. Jan, you've been there. You landed on your feet in Florida. You landed back on your feet in Vegas. And you know what? This is part of the process. And I have reinvented myself quite a few times throughout the years. And let me tell you, there's been times where I've been on my hands and knees crying, like literally scared to death, right? And it's normal for people to have that when they've had so much of something else and then they let go, or maybe not by choice, let go. And you are actually, back you feel like square one, but really there's a hell of a lot of growth that happened between point A and point B there. Yeah.
So before we ask you these 5 questions, I just want to dig a little deeper into that. So I didn't know that you're in this, like another pivotal sort of like rebirth. I love that. So you're stepping away from that, the
mega
brokerage,
the brand realty. Yeah.
But the escrow is something that you're going to be staying involved in. And what are some things you're thinking of doing now? Or, I mean, what direction are you thinking? Because you're a great coach. Is it's just go do your own business? What can you share a little bit about what you're thinking about doing?
Well, one of the things that I did is I made a decision, and we made a decision as an independent brokerage to join a company called Real Broker.
Yep.
Last February. I'm super freaking excited about being there. I'm not kidding you. I know I've said maybe this before, but I mean this. This brokerage serves me, right?
Okay, there you go.
It's
in alignment with you.
Yeah, it's in alignment with me. It's in alignment with my retirement plan, right? One of the things that I'm doing, obviously, I was doing for the team and outside of the team when we joined Real, is helping to bring on talent that also feels like they're in alignment with the needs that they have to, there's a rev share model involved, obviously, right? So there's rev share involved, and that's helping to fuel my future. So I don't have to work like a dog selling real estate, right?
Hey, Tina, for those that haven't heard of Real, talk a little bit about how it was founded, because I think that's a fascinating and really empowering story as well.
Well, I don't know all the details of the founding, but Tamir Polig, he is the one who's the founder. I think we're a little over 8,000 agents right now. They haven't been around that long. I think 2014 is when they were born.
Like and multiple states.
What was that?
Multiple states.
Oh, all over the country. I think we're in like 48 states right now, or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and obviously with an international mindset going on. A lot of collaboration. I got to tell you guys, there's some really great people joining the company, and everything is done on Workplace. We don't have a virtual world like EXP. However, elite agent status, they're able to train every month or every week, whatever they want to do. And we've got some great YouTubers on there, influencers that are killing it in real estate with their teams. We've got a lot of great solo agents kicking butt, and a lot of it is around social media. I know, Jan, you're big on it. I've been watching your stuff. You've inspired me to do more of that with, selling real estate, because I'm going to sell, obviously. I'm
Okay.
going to sell for a while. It's not something I'm stepping out of. Obviously, I want to pay the bills.
But you can be selective. You're in a place where you can be selective. You're doing multiple things. There's multiple streams of income, and that's what I'm hearing. I love the escrow. I love choose what you want to do in real estate in San Diego, North County. It's beautiful. And also, you're talking about attraction, agent attraction, right? And that model and you love that. You're great at that, so.
You're also
you're
good at the shorts too, Tina, because you every time it's like Tina's in her car talking to me again. I better listen to see what she has to say. Very good.
Yeah, man, we got to talk some more about that. Leveraging social media is the best for all of that, and it's all about video. Like I've been reconnecting because I haven't been on Facebook and Instagram much, and that's where I started seeing you a little bit more and love it. And it's all about video. That's what's helping us. All we do is short form video.
Yes,
mostly on TikTok, but we're moving from TikTok to Instagram to cross promote on all those other channels so we can reach other people as well.
I love it. I love it. And you're inspiring me. And then I obviously need to do more. I was so busy doing other things that I could squeak a video out every now and then,
Right.
But now
so. I love it. So you're in a great space. This is so exciting. All right, let's jump into our Ask 5.
Okay.
Ask 5 questions. The Tina King version.
Yeah.
Why do you like 5 so much? Because you got 5 reasons to live in this part of
that's part of it. But actually, I had this idea a long time ago, Ask 5. I even got a domain. I don't even know if I still have it. I just had this idea a long time ago when we started, even before we started the coaching company, maybe during that at some point. Like, always thought it'd be great to do something where you had a series where you asked like 3 or 5, and I just chose 5 because 3 is not enough. But 5 questions and get great information, how people will tick and what is their success story, right? In 5 questions. So that's all.
And the 6th question, everyone would just, move on to something else.
Yeah.
Right on.
The attention span's not long enough for 6.
And the setup for this first question is, we know, and we're all in the business about the same amount of time now, and in practicing yourself and coaching people, everyone will always say as a coach, where does your business come from? I always hear it's my database, it's my sphere of influence, it's past clients, whatever. I call that all database, meaning if you pick up the phone, they know who you are. So of course, everyone has that. We find that most people do not work it very well. So the first question is, what's the best idea you have that you've done or that you share to work and stay connected to your past clients or your sphere of influence?
Well, obviously there's multiple things. There's a system to it, right? Like the touch, reaching out when you call, pop buys, the Buffini. I was a Buffini coach. I didn't put that in my profile, but
That's right.
It's okay. So, there is a system to it. One of the things I remember that worked very, very well for me. Now, let me back up a little bit. I have been killing it with internet leads. And so when you mention that people don't do it, right? I have coached many teams as well in my history where their gold mine is their database, but they're chasing the new, now, next. And that's really a big, big, big mistake, right? And guess who made that same mistake?
You're on to the next thing. I gotcha.
Yeah. So, and I like that because I'm a very driven person. So it's hard for me to work a system unless somebody says, here's the system built for you, right? And so coming back to where I am right now, thinking back on what was really good out of all those multiple things that you need to do was the housewarming party. I mean, I'm not kidding you. That was fun. It was easy to put together once you had a system in place of where you get the food, who's going to be your partner, and usually I got the lender that was helping me with the buyer to partner with me if they were local. If they were not, I would get my preferred lender, if I didn't have that business, for my preferred lender, and have them come and help me, and they would get all the glory. Right. So wonderful. Getting there with that housewarming party, meeting their sphere of influence, meeting the buyers who just moved into this beautiful home that you didn't know how to crack slab, but it does. You know what I mean? It looks pretty. So, bringing those people together, and you get to shake hands and you get to be the hero, and it really it grew my database quicker, and it just deepened my relationships much faster.
Wonderful. I love that idea. All right. I'm making some notes because I want to make sure we put a few of these things in the actual show notes too as well. All right. So love it. And it is about a system. And I think the things I heard there besides the housewarming, which is such a great idea, is to to me, it's put the system in place that's easy. One thing that's happened to me, Tina, getting back into the business after all this management career and coaching people and training, is simple is better. I realized that. I think even in my coaching, it was like, don't have people do too many things. Do what you're going to do what you're going to like. And something is better than nothing. So some simple system where you're touching your people. Housewarming thing is great. If it's client events, I'm a Buffini person too. So for me, it's just doing a monthly newsletter. There's a connection that happens with that. And then you can set it and forget it. And then you have reasons to call people. It's just as easy as that. It doesn't have to be harder than that. You know 100%. What I mean?
People make it hard because, and there's a lot of choices to build your business. There's a lot. There's a list that goes on forever, right? So many people don't even pick one because I really honestly believe that they're overwhelmed and stricken in fear. And
they procrastinate. It's like, I mean to get to it and the day gets away from you. And that's why I'm like, the message is simple, simple, simple. Just start with one thing, then you can add to it. So the housewarming party, brilliant idea. Let's go on to the next question. I love it. So, all right. So now that the setup was everybody has fear. What are you doing? How do you get business from it? So the next question is, what's your top tactic or strategy for generating new business that's not coming from your database?
So I've been heavy lister. I'm a top listing agent in San Diego now. And so I am actually focusing on non-owner occupied. And I have a simple system in place to, if there's a renter in there that's still in a lease, to get them out if this, if they want them to, and a payout. My commission goes up a little bit, but I absorb a lot of those costs. So it's not a crowded space. So that's kind of where I'm headed. I've picked up some ideas from you, though, that I might do. But again, I have to keep it simple or I'm going to just not do anything. So, I get excited about the stuff.
Non-owner occupied. So is it without getting into all the details, is it a combination of, do you try to track down phone numbers because people live out of state or they might live in state, or are you mailing to them, or what are you doing to try to reach out and say, hey, I have a solution if you're thinking of selling your house?
Yeah, so mailers are going out once a month to them, and then also phone calls. And I get this from my title, and I know that there's systems. I think Vulcan 7 and all them might have some non-owner occupied stuff. I'm not sure. I'm actually doing some research on it now to make sure that I have the right list, right? So it's been really, really good. I don't have any business from it yet, but I know a couple people that have really done well with it in other states. And my past, I did it, and it was very successful. So I'm really hoping for the same result this time.
Just to share a story on why I think it's such a great idea. That is one of the things I did when I went to Florida. Matt actually helped me with it. And I was renting in a 55 plus condo, second home, very, very much a second home condo place in Clearwater. And I just sent postcard mailers to all the non-owner occupied, but there was a reason for the mailer. And the mailer was right at the time that equity had gone up so much. And it was all about, did you know that your condo, I would focus on just the 2 bedrooms, has gone up at $40,000 in value since last year? Well, I got 3 listings from that.
Nice.
Off of 2 mailers.
That's very cool.
And then what happened, it spurs a whole bunch of real estate agents lived in there. And all of a sudden I found they were doing the same thing.
Yeah, they started copying you.
It started happening. Like it worked for a couple times. So love that idea. And there's a story to tell, because where you are, even with an adjusting market, especially in your market, there has been massive equity gain in the last 2.5 years. Even, I don't know exactly what's happened in San Diego, but California always seems to stay stronger than other places.
Yeah, so I just checked the market update last night, and in San Diego, different. I always look at different square footage groups because they perform differently. So the larger, like 3,000, 3,500 square foot up homes have been on a bigger roller coaster ride in pricing than the smaller homes. The smaller homes have been a little more flatline, maybe up a little bit down. So I would just say, your average square foot home has gone down anywhere from $20,000 to maybe $35,000, depending on the area. Others, there's a little bit bump up in equity.
But that's just now in this past year, right? I mean, I always have to help people go. Like, I had somebody make a comment about, I lost 40,000, and I'm like, you didn't lose 40,000 because it's like stock. You didn't sell your house at the peak. Yeah. Okay, but why don't we put in perspective of how much equity you've gained in the last 2 years? Because it's not 5%; it was 25% for 2 years in
100%
a
it
row.
was. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's like, that's the story to help people. And then, so I love it. That's a great, great idea. Listing agent, obviously. Listings, you got to think differently right now. The market has shifted. So you got to go figure out where are the people that need to sell their house, right? Not everybody wants to sell their house.
Absolutely. And I think there's a lot of investors out there that would like to get out. You know, there's some,
I agree with you.
There's some tax laws and stuff that change that, you know, kind of mess with some folks.
I just heard about that, because that's a tactic that we should talk. You and I need to talk some more on this specific thing about referring, because I didn't know about this new tax. Is it over 5 million?
I can't remember.
There's some number that it's coming into effect maybe next year or later, that people who sell their home are going to have to pay another tax, like a luxury tax, if you will, when they sell their home. And so the feeling that I was just at a meeting where they were saying, they were talking about the market here and saying, guys, you need to go after these people in California that are maybe going to want to buy a house here so they can get out of that tax that they have to pay coming up.
Right.
Soon.
So we got some 1031 exchanging that needs to go on.
Let's talk about it. Let's do some marketing. We should do some marketing. I'm going to talk to you offline on that, and we can maybe do some cross promoting video wise. You got me fired up about that. All right.
That's great.
Tina, the next question that we have is actually, I think it's probably one of the most important things. And you kind of touched on it maybe just a little while ago, talking about how you've had ebbs and flows in your business, right? And you go from the euphoria to sometimes it being in the curled up little ball position. You know, you honestly, I can say without even hesitating, you are one of the most driven people that I have ever met, because whatever you set your eye on something and it's like, okay, hold her back a little bit and then go. And then Tina just goes. Everybody has those ups and downs, right? So this question is really, you know, what holds you back? What are the things that, and I think this can be so powerful for people that are going to be listening to the podcast, because everyone's got something that if you identify it and you know what it is, you can move forward. So what's your Achilles heel, I guess?
Well, the biggest holdback for everyone and myself is me, right? So it's how we think, you know, what we think we need that we maybe don't need, and the other thing is, you know, I'm a little weak on the tech side, but right now I'm just pushing a lot of buttons and it breaks and then I fix it. So, you know, there's just some, you know, my strengths are productivity, people, go, go, go. And other people's strengths are sit behind a computer and do the tech thing all day. And I'm a visionary. So sometimes my vision gets too many things on the plate and I kind of freeze. So I talk to myself, and awareness is the first step, right? So knowing those things about yourself, then you can find the people that you need for the tech. You can have talks with yourself. You can write a journal about all your great ideas and keep them in a folder. You can do all those things and just pick that one that Jan talked about and run with it, right? So you have to talk yourself off the ledge a lot in order to just really get that laser focus that you need. Otherwise, you're going to just go in circles chasing your tail like a dog. The other thing, the thing that I was thinking about when I saw that question was, I always feel or felt that I have to do it for someone else more than me. And
brilliant.
That doesn't always work out well. So although it is a great ride for me at a time, but you know what? Why not me? Why not me? Why not me doing this for me? Right. And so those are things that I'm learning right now. And I've been learning for a while. It's not like I just switched a switch and went, oh, aha. Right. That's an affirmation I need to lose. I do better for others than myself. I need to lose that affirmation, right?
Yes. When you do what's best for you, then you are serving others as best you can.
Right. But my programming was a little backwards on that for quite a few years.
I love it though. That's brilliant, because I think a lot of us fall into that one.
And you kind of have to wade through life sometimes to get to that point, right?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you do. At 60 years old, I got to get it.
Well, better late than never. I don't even think that's late. I think it's still early, actually.
That's exactly right. Yeah. All right. Oh, so here we go. This question's a good one, right? You know, we always like to find out so we can share great resources. So is there anything in particular that you, people, books, podcasts, anything, programs that has inspired you, that you know that has influenced you to be who you are today, whether it's real estate related or not?
Whew. So I have a long list. However, what's really speaking to me right now at this moment today is, believe it or not, and she just is so real, as Mel Robbins. And I'm listening to her new Audible right now, which is called Reinvent Your Life.
I love it. And isn't she the 5-minute person?
Yes. 5
Yeah.
second rule.
5-second rule,
Yeah.
rather like
You
deal with
got the
it, get rid
5.
of it.
Another 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another 5, right? There you go. Totally. Okay, I love that. So she's got something new. I haven't looked at her stuff in a
Well,
while.
I got to tell you, I don't normally, and I'm listening to the Audible, right? So I'm not reading the book, but I'm listening to the Audible, and it's an Audible original. So I don't know that you can get it anywhere else. It's probably a deal that she has with them. And she was really afraid to start a podcast after all the great things that she's done in the books she's written. She really hesitated for 2 years. And it talks about getting in the driver's seat of your life versus being the passenger all the time. And so there's a great metaphor about her family taking a trip to the Grand Canyon and taking 2 weeks. I don't know where they were from at the time. I didn't catch that, but I really didn't want that Audible. I didn't want it to end because it's has material in there that not only is speaking to me in a very loud voice, but how many people can I take that message to in a clearer way than I've ever put it, right? To help others to get
That's
out
awesome.
of their own way. So,
and you probably do the same. Sounds like you like to listen. Do you do that? Like listen to podcasts or books or something when you're driving or taking a walk or doing anything? Yeah, totally cool. Awesome. Yeah. Love it. Love it. All right, great. That's a great share and a new one. And then Matt, what's the last question?
Last question. Best advice for agents to thrive in 2023 and beyond.
How to thrive.
Easy stuff.
Another big list. However, we want to keep it simple, right?
Right.
And Jan, I know you talk about this ad nauseum on the podcast and probably in your coaching and all that is, having that routine, that daily routine where you have a perfect daily schedule built and you're focused on the big rocks of your business and your life, meaning self-care, right? Getting that out of the way in the mornings, right? And
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Keep on. Keep bringing it.
Okay. And, time blocking that at least 1 hour of go time, right? Of, making your phone calls to your sphere or, door knocking or whatever the heck you're choosing, right? Like, I'm not going to go down the list of items, but whatever it is that jazzes you to go out and kill it in the business and working on that. And the other thing is a lot of people are working from home, as you know, many people are, and agents have for many years before COVID even hit. And what happens is they get there and they go to pick up that phone to call those people they haven't talked to in a long time and they freeze.
Yeah.
And then they start looking at the lint on the floor and then they have a really clean home at the end of the freaking day, right? So,
100% true.
It's just something else. I personally am not like that anymore. However, maybe I was at some point. I don't really know. However, that schedule cannot be buried in your Gmail. You need to print it, guys. You need to put it up in front of you. You are in the schedule following business. And it's what you put in that schedule and what you follow that's going to get done. And that's the biggest thing I can share. So there's a lot of fillers in there, right? There's how you're going to do it. There's, the steps you take to do it and all that. But get the training on that. If you already know what to do, put something together and get out and just start doing it.
Yeah. I could not agree more. It's ad nauseum is what I say, daily routine. And the most important thing I believe 100%, just to say it back, is you've got to be, I like what you call it, 1 hour go time. If you do at least 1 hour, two's better. But if you did it 1 hour daily, then you're focused. That's what I have to keep getting back to. And it's so easy for things to fill up your day. But when we consistently do the 1 hour follow up, reaching back, because we're generating a lot of people interested in talking to us. And if you just stay with that, then all of a sudden we have appointments. That's what's happening to us.
Well, the consistency creates that momentum, right? It's the compound effect, right?
Yes. Yep.
You
exactly.
consistently get bills in your mailbox, so you need to consistently pay them. So you have to be consistent in your activities every day. And I've got to tell you, vacuuming your floor is not the highest use of your time.
I like that. And Matt said something on a previous podcast, recent podcast, that his trigger for go time was putting shoes on. And I love that. I love that. Like, in other words, it's like to get away to maybe that's another reminder for everybody that you got to get up and you got to get up and get out of the sweatpants.
There you go.
And do something to say, I'm now in work mode, even though I'm in my home mode. And then I'm not going to go, dust the furniture until I get that 1 hour of, calling and stuff done and follow-up done. So that's great stuff. I love it. I love it.
Listen, exercise before, guys, even if it's a 15-minute walk, because it really gets everything going. You have more energy push throughout the day. You can think clearer. Everything changes. And by the way, as you get older, you won't have problems with your veins. Like, just do it,
That is, hey, preach to that. I absolutely agree with you on that. Just to kind of wrap up today, Tina, we believe really strongly in work-life balance and being able to get up and get out, like you just talked about, getting up and just exercising your mind and just taking a breath. What else do you do for fun? What is driving you? I know you have a great family. What else are you doing right now just to kind of round out your life?
I'm learning to have fun. I'm very serious about what I do, and I get very involved in what I do. However,
Brian is the same way.
Yeah. You know what I love about you, Jan, and maybe we're going to run out of time or whatever, but I love that you're a visionary. You're also a tech person, and you're just a doer. And you don't find that combination. Just like my daughter, her combination of skill set, Jan, it's hard to find. You're either sometimes an artist or a mathematician, right? Mm-hmm. And you're a combination of those things. And I love
the good and bad of that, of course, is that's cool, but it's the same time, my whole life I look at it like he's right. I don't always stop and smell the roses. I've been doing better at that, finding things that bring me joy and balancing that out and enjoying that. But I still have the tendency that if I had free time, I'm going to go do something that's going to.
Yeah. So here's what we're doing. I have a family, and I have a family now, obviously.
Well,
and,
you had a family for quite a while.
We're not happy anymore. But anyway, I feel obligated, not in a bad way, in a really cool way, to make sure that I create great things for the family to do. Like I just, with my reinvention of myself and moving out, and obviously the income has shifted way down at the moment. I still booked the trip to Maui in April. Beautiful. So wonderful. It gives me that drive. It gives me that excitement. I've scheduled some really special things for them to do and me to do while we're there, like a Sunday brunch, which is going to be Easter Sunday. We're going out, out of Lahaina on a boat, and we're going to do brunch, and we're also, I'm surprising them with horseback riding, which I'm not going to get on the horse because they own horses. We own horses now, by the way. I don't ride them because of my physical condition. I have an autoimmune type disease that has been chipping away at my life for quite a few years. And so I can't get on a horse. It's too painful. But I love creating those moments and those memories with my family.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Wow. I'm inspired. I'm kind of fired up right now. I just got to say.
Kings.
I got some ideas. I'm like, you just basically told me what I needed to do. Matt knows what I'm talking about. It's that daily routine that I keep on saying I'm going to do. And I just, anyway, once that happens and you have things flowing and you're taking care of yourself and then you're focused on what's important, everything else just happens and life is better. That's the truth.
It does. You got to put those in alignment with each other, right? And it's not, just start one. Right? Just get one.
That's
going.
Right.
If it's the walk, get the walk going. Next
there
week,
you go.
Pick up the phone. If you don't pick up the phone this week, you don't pick up the phone, but get the walk going, get the phone going, you know what I mean?
Beautiful.
And so that has been really helpful for me. Otherwise I get overwhelmed just like everybody else.
All right. So what area do you serve? So if we have people that want to be able to send referrals to you, what's the areas that you like to work in your part of the California area?
Yeah, so I'm hyper focused on North County, San Diego. However, I reach out to Riverside County and all over San Diego County. Okay. I'm planning on bringing on probably one agent on my team and working, have them help me with some of the buy business and things like that. So
great. You focus on your listings and then generate business from the listings, and there you go. Well, there you go. If you're in that area and you want to be working with somebody, you might reach out to her to see if you're really a go-getter. You might have an opportunity to work with an amazing leader in our industry here. So Tina, thank you so much for taking time and sharing your story with us, answering these questions. And we're very excited to have you on our 2023 first interview, because we are really dedicated and committed to doing this in our podcast. We went to 2 times every other week, and now we're committed back to doing it once a week.
Right on. Well, I'm proud of you guys. I'm very, very proud.
Why don't we set it up right now if you're our first guest of 2024 and you can tell us how you've done this year?
Yeah, right? There we go.
There's your channel.
Accountability. I think that's
honestly, I love that idea, and we do want to do a check-in with you to see like because we're talking to you right now. You're in this space of the next phase of Tina King's glorious real estate career, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So we'll stay in touch on that.
There's going to be coaching involved there. There's going to be some real estate. There's going to be some passive income. Also, guys, your whole plan around the 9 transactions in 90 days. I really think that's a good thing. I teach the 12-week year, and it's very much around that. So focus on your first quarter. Focus on your first quarter. All right,
I
guys.
love it. That's probably a better goal. 12 weeks. Yeah. It just depends what the goal is. It was just something for me, and I'm literally doing that.
No, that's what it is.
We're one down and need 8 more, and it's keeping us focused on getting enough appointments. We're lining up appointments, and I know we're going to hit that goal if we continue to do what we're doing. And if we don't, then we won't.
It's easier. You're not saying, I'm going to sell 100 homes this year, right? And then you're like, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming. And then also, I have time, right? Like till the end of the year. So
there you go. Love it.
You can find out. Yeah, thank you, Tina. You are always an inspiration. And we've got all the show notes about Tina. If you want to give her a holler, all that information will be over at WBNLpodcast.com. Next week, we'll be back. What's our topic next week, Jan?
I think we're going to talk about how to, if you're a team leader or a broker, building a training program for your team.
There you go.
Whether you leverage what you have at your company or how do you augment that? Because we obviously have a solution for that, which is what's going to be our newest product in 23, which we're putting together right now, is a training for teams and brokers on how to leverage our real estate sales builder program for your base training, and then how to coach agents to success using that. So you don't have to reinvent. You don't have to go create a training program if you don't have one.
That is so awesome. That's so needed. There's so many lost teams out there. I've done some consulting with some teams as well, and I want to continue that journey. And so, if you ever want me back on to just talk team, we can do that as well.
Absolutely. We will. Okay. Because that's our focus, right? Teams, and then helping teams and brokers grow. We help all agents. We have products for everything, but our focus is really about that, helping people build teams and brokers.
2023, Tina King, friend of the WBNL podcast.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tina.
All right, everyone, get up, get out, make this the best year ever. Live the life you dreamed, and be forever wandering, but not lost.
All right.